Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Work with What You Got podcast. My name is Devin, aka Dina Chaitanya. This is episode number 16 of the podcast. So we're making progress slowly but surely. Just an update. I'm going to try and keep doing one podcast every month. In the beginning, I started with doing them a bit more regularly, but my schedule at the moment is a bit fuller now. So one podcast a month, and we'll keep it up as much as I can. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining in and for staying connected to the podcast. I hope it's providing some value for you. And yeah, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, please do so now. That would be greatly appreciated. All the love and the support really, really does help. So yes, so today we have, I have, and then it's a really inspiring young lady with me. Her name is Sakshi, but I say Shakshi. I don't know which is the correct pronunciation actually. Is it Sakshi or Shakshi?
Hi, yes, so it is Sakshi.
Sakshi. Okay, so we have Sakshi with us, who is I'm going to do a short intro. So she's a software engineer at a company in Mauritius. She has started. She's the founder of an NGO called the Faith Club NGO, and she's also the president of that NGO. And she is a an author of a self-help book. So I find her really inspiring. She's only 23 years old and she's already doing so much. So that's why I was like, let's get her on the episode and just chat about how this is all happening and why it's all happening, especially at such a young age. And yeah, so yes, would you like to say anything about yourself before we start with the questions?
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction, Devon. It is very humbling and inspiring to hear that intro about myself from another person. So, thank you for having me here today. I am very happy to be invited. And yeah, so Devon already told everything about me. And as we go along, we will unpack some more. Just I want to tell a bit backstory of how I connected with Devon. So actually, the chief event coordinator of FAIF, her name is Sivani. She came to me and she said that she has a friend and his name is Devon. And she finds him really inspiring. And she would like if we could do a session through FAIF. And Devon was actually the resource person for one event that we conducted together. I would say personally, I really enjoyed that event, and so did our members. Thank you very much, Devon. I would say that on that particular day, I was going through some inner conflict, inner confusion, and then I attended your session, and after that, I truly felt a calm. So I would say that you really bring a calm atmosphere wherever you go. Yes, so that's a
Oh,
bit about
thank you.
we connected. Yes.
Yes, it was very. I met Shivani or Sivani. I met her in Cape Town, my home country or my home city. And I didn't think much about it. I just connected with her. We exchanged numbers because we met at the temple. And then lo and behold, a year or so later, I moved to her country. So we're in Mauritius now. I'm in Mauritius, and this is where I met Sakshi as well in Mauritius. And yeah, so it's always good to meet and connect with people. This is oftentimes always my thought pattern behind doing what I do is that it's connecting me with other people. And because you never know what may happen. I mean, you may inspire someone, they may inspire you, just like Sakshi has inspired me. She really has. At such a young age, doing what she's doing. I mean, when I was 23, I was still I was still figuring a lot of things out. I mean, I'm sure you are as well, but didn't have this much going for me. And so it's inspiring to me that at such a young age you've decided to take on so much and do so much already. And I guess that's again one of the reasons why I thought, because you said to me, you would like me to promote your book or something like that. I should share. You shared with me that you had a book as well in a WhatsApp conversation, and you said, can I maybe post it to a friend or can I post it on my status? And I just thought, that's not going to really do it justice. I think because the book it's a part of you because you wrote it, right? It's a part of your creativity and stuff. But what's more important to me is connecting with you, the person who wrote the book, because then we can find out more in depth, like the whole story behind it and why you decided you wanted to write the book and do all of the things that you're doing. I mean, I can imagine it's not easy being a software developer in a company. You said you were a software developer and a auditing engineer or
Yes, a quality engineer. So
an equality
basically,
engineer.
yeah, after the product has been made, so we have to ensure that its quality is good. We have to do all these inspection. So that's also part of it.
Okay, okay. Okay, so you're doing that, and you're the president and the founder of your faith club, and you somehow managed to squeeze writing a book in between all of that. So yeah, let's go from this straight into the first question. And the first question is, so what led you to create your NGO, and how did your path as an author play into that? So what came first? Did you write the book first, and then you were like, oh, through this book, I thought about an NGO. Let's start the NGO, or was it the other way around? Yeah, you let us know how that's happened.
Yes. So you will see that every time I talk about this topic, there is a glow on my face because the NGO, all the work that I do is really from the heart. So it started in 2022. At that time, I was still doing my studies in computer science at that time. I chose that field because, it's a very good field. You can easily get job in that field. But deep down, I was not very passionate about that. And I
Hmm.
remember when I was in my second year of university, it was around March, and I remember praying to God that, I am doing this degree, but I am not really passionate about it. So I asked God that day, I would like to find something that makes me want to wake up every single day, to find something that gives me purpose. And then I just remember that specific moment. And then months passed by. And then it was around October 2022. At that time, I was doing internship in a company where I met a friend, and then he suggested me a book. So he actually gave the book to me, and the book is called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty.
Oh, yes.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so books are very special to me, and that book absolutely changed my life. In that book, there was a chapter, the last chapter is dedicated to service. When I read that chapter, something really resonated in me. In the sense that, I always used to think that you can either be happy, you can pursue your personal happiness, or you can help others. But through that chapter, I came to understand that I had to shatter that belief that you can be happy helping others, and that can give you a sense of purpose and joy in your life. So I was very inspired by that book, and the next day itself, I remember talking to my father. So during the morning, my father and I usually go for walks together at around 6 a.m. And as we were walking, I just told my dad, um, I read this book and I realized that I am very passionate about maybe volunteering. So I asked my dad if he actually knew any club that I could join. Maybe I can volunteer, I can give back to the society. So then my father said something to me which changed everything. Uh, he told me, "Why don't you create something like that? Why don't you create a club, but you make it Sakshi style?" Yes, yeah.
That's cool.
So you make it
But
Sakshi style.
why did he say that? Like, what was his, did you maybe ask him, but Dad, why don't I just join a club? Why did he
Mhm.
say, why did he go there, if I may ask?
My father has always believed in me, and he
Hmm.
always told me that, I am meant for greater things in life. And I was always a person I like to interact with other people. I had a lot of friends, and I already have had a small community, even if I did not do great things, but I like to connect to people, learn more. So that was why he told me, "So why don't you and your friends together go somewhere and do something? You don't necessarily have to join another club." So when he told me that, I think that it's because of him. When that idea came at that specific moment, I don't know what just clicked, but I knew that this was something that felt right in my soul. Personally, um, I had heard of the word NGO in the past, or I had seen people doing voluntary work, but I had never thought about that. It was never a path that I thought that I would take. But that day, on that particular moment, something clicked right in me. And then I would add something. It's something that Rick Rubin said. He said something that, if an idea is meant to come to life, it has to arrive. It does not matter how. So I believe that I was the medium. The idea of faith had to come at this moment in time. And I was just that medium through which came faith. If I had not acted upon it, then maybe somebody else would have. But I still believe that. So on that particular day itself, I called my best friend Elodie and I told her, and she was very excited about it. And I told a few friends as well. So they started designing the logo, everything. And I remember the first event that we did, it was actually a trail at Bras-deux, and it was around 30 people who came. It was very, very different feeling. And then, as from that, faith started growing. What I realized in faith is that it was just not a club. It was not yet registered as an NGO at that time, but it was not just a club, it was something that brought people together. So I started meeting people similar like me, they started joining the club, and it was not just an organization as such, it started became like a sanctuary for people, like a safe place where you can come and just express yourself. And I would also add that the moment that faith was created, um, in that phase of my life, I was not in a very good place. So I would say that the pain also sometimes, it is in your low moments that you get the courage to create something much bigger than yourself. You have to get buried deep down on the ground so that you can come out fuller. I believe in that. And then, without realizing it, faith started growing, and everybody encouraged that we should go register it officially in Mauritius. And now we have around 200 volunteers across the island. It started growing little by little. And sometimes I still don't know how it all happened. If you will tell me to go back, uh, it just feels like a dream. And how did writing come into that now? So, frankly speaking, since COVID, I read a lot of books, non-fiction books, self-development books. I really adore these types of books because they have really helped me. They have built my character and shaped a huge part of me as well. So I always had a dream that maybe when I would be 50 or 60 years old, then maybe I can write a book
I
about
would
my
write a
life
book.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. But then I thought maybe I can do that, but maybe I can do it in uh, different levels. For example, this book, as you can see here, Whispers of
Mm.
Hope, it it demonstrates like the first 20 or 23 years of my life. Then maybe one day I can have a second book which will demonstrate another 20 years of my life. So I would really say that faith gave me the courage to write this book. And in this book,
When you say
it is,
faith, you mean the organization, the NGO.
yeah, the organization and also the faith that I have.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. Okay.
yes, the faith that I have now, that I've built, it has really helped me to write this book. It gave me the courage because, again, like I told you, the click I got when the idea of faith came, the NGO. So I felt this again, and it just felt right in my soul that perhaps I can write this book. It may not be perfect. I am not a very big author as such, but it's something real and it's something very genuine to me. And if my experiences can help someone, then I would be very happy to share this. So that's about it.
Okay, so let's just go into what is your book about? So it's a self-help book, but what is it about? Can you share a bit about what's in there? Yeah.
Yes, sure. So the title is called Whispers of Hope, and I actually uh, thought about the title loss when I got
Lost.
the idea.
Okay.
Yes, loss. So I just
What
got
was the first
um,
name that you thought of, if I may ask?
no, I did not think of. I knew that the word hope had to be in it.
Oh, okay, okay,
Because, because I like the name faith, hope. I think these are the words. They are very simple, but they hold the greatest meaning in life.
sure.
Yes. So the book, I really like quotes. What every day you can see on my WhatsApp status, I like to put different types of quotes in my gallery. You can find everywhere. There are a lot of quotes. So initially, I had decided to write only a quote book. But then I said that no, quotes won't be just enough. There has to be something more impactful. So then I started going back and I started thinking perhaps there are some things that really help me in my day-to-day life. And some reflective exercises, some toolkits. For example, how do I personally tackle negative thinking? And it's very personal, this book. You will find some routines of mine, what I practice, and some things which have really helped me navigate difficult situations. So you will find it there. And it is also filled with many personal stories of mine. So it's just this book is very simple. It's like it's not like a how-to manual, but it's like a friend sitting next to you and telling you about the situations that she went through and how some things that helped her heal. I would tell you frankly, when I decided to write the book, I am not very much of a big author. But I knew that what I had to share was genuine and that whomever the book is meant to reach, whoever needs that, so it will reach that person. It is with that intention that I have written this book.
I appreciate that so much because it's oftentimes not the big gestures that mean or make a big impact. Sometimes it's just the simplest, most genuine things that we do that have the biggest impact. And that's what I'm seeing with your like everybody has like a vibe, you know? People often tell me I make them feel calm. That's just a vibe I have, you know? You said it now as well. It's not the first time people have said that I have a very calming energy. But with you, I get a very simple and genuine energy. So you have a very simple and genuine desire um, that you like to share what's from your heart. You like to share your heart with people. And that's really cool because, yeah, those are the types of people that make the biggest impacts in the world. I was just thinking of the Mother Teresa and how she just had such a genuine desire to help others and look at the impact she made, you know. Unknowingly, she just started helping others. And she even started I think the story went that the church at the time or the organization she was with, they shunned her because her ideas were a bit different to their ideas. But she kept on with what she was doing and she kept helping people. And lo and behold, then what she was doing started to pick up and it became more popular than what the church or the organization she was with was doing. And it was just from a genuine desire just to help others. And yeah, so it's really interesting and it's cool to see that in someone. So I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And I appreciate your humility as well. Yes, you have a nice sense of humility, which is really grounding. So I appreciate that. So back to your NGO. So that was a bit about your book. So let's dive a bit more into your NGO. So your NGO, the Faith Club, is it offers such a wide and rich mix of different workshops. So, for instance, you mentioned, I don't even know all the workshops that you've done with Faith at the moment, but I just know a few. Like, for instance, the one that I was involved in. So, we did a yoga, qigong, sacred sound meditation workshop. I've heard you mentioned that you did a sign language workshop. So, you were teaching people to use sign language and to quote unquote speak sign language. I've seen that you did a art workshop. So there was painting and drawing and all of that stuff. I've seen that you've done a financial literacy workshop, which is really, really awesome. So yeah. So what else have you done? And what is the thread that you're trying to weave by doing all of these? Is there like a link between all the workshops? Yeah, you let us know.
Yes, that's a very interesting question. So I would say that everything that we do at Faith is centered around four pillars that we have. The first one is that we focus a lot on our personal development. So it comprises of going in different trails, doing meditation session as we did together. Art therapy also comes in that because we have a principle at Faith. If you are not okay, if your cup is not filled, then you won't be able to help others. There is a very honest thing that they say, and you'll often hear it in airplanes that you have to put your own oxygen mask before helping others. So that's why we work many, many hours on ourselves. When we are okay, we go and help the vulnerable population. So that comprises maybe we just go and have a day with the elderly in our village. Sometimes we go and visit disability school. And we also do donations when we can, but our focus is mainly on spending time with those people, on creating a connection, because that's what matters at the end of the day. And then our third pillar comprises of learning different life skills. So to tackle our day-to-day life, we have to learn many different type of skills. For example, we have to learn how to do a CPR on someone, and we have to learn how to defend ourselves in difficult situations. For
You've done
example,
self-defense?
not yet, but we are planning.
Okay. I can link you
Yes,
because I do jujitsu. It's something that I'm very, very into. I love jujitsu. And it's a lot about self-defense. Anyway, carry on. We can talk about it later. But yeah, interesting.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And also, sign language also comes under it. And I will talk a bit about the sign language later.
Mm.
And so, financial literacy also comes under it. We have to be financially aware. In the world that we are living nowadays, we have to learn how to budget, how to manage our money. It's very important. So that's why we focus on these skills. And now coming back to sign language. So this has, opened my mind to many things. We had done a collaboration with another NGO called Global Rainbow Foundation, where we got the opportunity to learn about sign language. And
Mm.
the people there who are now members in our NGO, the people are visually impaired and they cannot hear as well. So these people, they are very they are very like us, I would say. They have so much to offer, but the only barrier is that uh, we don't have the right communication with them. So I would say that with sign language, it has really helped me and my other teammates as well to include them. I don't know if you remember, but they also came into our the session that we had together.
Yes, I
Yes,
do remember. Yes.
yes. So they are our members, and I would say that they have so much depth in themselves and they are so loving, but it's only that we have this barrier that we cannot communicate with them. So that's why I am trying to implement like some more sign language courses for people to come and we can build a more inclusive society because frankly speaking the world for them is not that uh, comforting,
Mm.
especially when they do feel very outcasted. So we have to create that inclusive society because they are very friendly, they like to talk, they like to interact with us. It's
To
just that
interact, to connect. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. And then the fourth pillar is about our mental and emotional health. We put a lot of emphasis on that because, as you can see nowadays, we are in 2025, technology is at its peak. But at the same time, you will see that people are lonelier than ever. They are depressed. They are facing burnout. Their negative thoughts are killing them.
I know about
So,
burnout so much. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so at Faith, we try at least to learn maybe just a little tool that can help us maybe tackle something a bit more than we would have previously. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you will see that everything that we do, there is that connection in that.
Mm.
So it's
So
linked. Mhm.
yes, carry on.
Yes, so I would say that the link is to heal ourselves and, if possible, to heal the world a bit, the people around us, the small community, to heal that and together, like to create a more safe place. We cannot change the world. I cannot say that I will change the world, but at least I can do my part and work on myself and maybe help the people around me, the two, three people, my neighbors. So, so that's what we do.
Yeah, and I like what you said. It's just about the connection sometimes. Sometimes it's just having that honest moment of genuine connection with people that means more than anything in the whole world. I mean, like, there's many people who have gone out there and they've done all these big things and they've gotten so famous and rich. And I'm not saying that money is not going to give you a sense of happiness, because it definitely will. I mean, it will give you a lot of things. But if it's not, if there isn't like genuineness and realness and authenticity in that, then it can become quite hollow and quite empty. And so it's just going to show that being genuine and real and authentic is goes a lot further sometimes than all the superficialities that the world is offering, you know? And yeah, it's just interesting. So it's really cool that you're doing this. Yeah. So yeah, the thought came to me while you were saying that is that the Faith Club, is like the school that nobody asked for, but that everybody needs. So it's
Yeah.
teaching you things like you said, financial literacy. In school, I mean, I did accounting for maybe 1 year, 2 years, but I was never interested in accounting. And it taught me so many things that I don't even remember, and I don't think I need to remember to be an adult, because yeah, it's just flew over my head, went in here and out there. And yeah, so things like financial literacy, learning how to be smart with your money in today's day and age, and to value money because it is an energy of the world, the energy of the divine. So learning to appreciate it and work with it properly, super great. I wish schools taught us that. Um, self-defense. There are some schools that have some self-defense classes and stuff like that, but that's super great. And especially in today's day and age with the growing rapid chaos that's happening everywhere. It's good for you to know something in order to be able to defend yourself if you need to, you know? Because that's what self-defense is for. It's there to help you when you need it. And you never know what may happen in today's day and age. So it's super great. I mean, and among all the other things that you mentioned, the art therapy and all of that, and bridging the gap between people, for instance, bridging the gap between audible people and non-audible people. That's super great. I mean, yeah, I have a question that I want to get to based on all of that, but I want to go into something first. Is that so? How do you come um, to choosing each of your workshops? Is it just that someone like Sivani comes to you and says, "Hey, I have an idea," or is it, you see something and you're like, "Ooh, let's try that." How does that process happen? Yeah.
Yes. Um, so first of all, what happens is that every one of us has ideas. So everybody writes their ideas and then we put them like in an Excel.
Mm.
And then when we brainstorm, we see that maybe we can do that. So these are all faith based event like which only we are going to do. But then along the way, many people reach us for collaboration. For example, like the financial literacy workshop was a collaboration. So what we do is that first of all, we listen to what they have to say. We give everybody a chance for any collaboration that we get. We listen to what they have to say. And after that, the second step that we do is that we go and check. We do a trial run among ourselves. So mainly for all of our events, before we put that out with our members, we try it ourselves. So we go and check, for example, if we are doing something with a youth club or a center, we go and check the center if everything is okay, if the vibe feels okay, if the energy feels safe. And then we ask ourselves, is it meaningful? Is it going to bring something to the table uh, for our members? Are they really going to benefit from that?
Mm,
And also, like, with what motive are we doing that? Because
mm,
there are some organizations also who have approached us, but I did not personally like it, so then I did not go forward because something did not sit right with me.
yeah, sure.
And yeah, so at the end of the day, if it does not feel right, or if it is not moving enough, it is not going to make our members grow, then it's not for us. But as I tell you, we give the benefit of doubt. We try, we go and see if it is appropriate for our members, if they are going to like it, and then we go forward. So
Mm,
I would say that it is also a bit based on our intuition and also the community as well, because we have seen that with many events, our members have really liked it as well. They love the sense of community. So it is a bit about that.
great. And yeah, I mean, that sounds like it's quite a thorough decision-making process. So you have obviously you have a board on your in your NGO. Like I know Sivani's the chief coordinator. Then I met
Yes.
Ruchika, yes, and Elodie. I don't think I met. I don't think she was at the last one, but I remember you mentioning her name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so you have a board, so you have people to bounce ideas off, and then you see what sits right with all of you. And obviously, you're
Mm.
all aligned for the same type of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, and is every one of them, were they your friend before, or were they people that you met through the process of developing faith?
Some of them are still here, the friends of mine, but some of them they are new. I met
Uh-huh.
them when I created Faith. For example, Ruchika. I did not know her before, but she is one of the greatest gifts that we have at Faith.
Ah, okay. That's cool. That's cool. So you created something and that brought you more basically. So it brought you
Mm.
new friends and new experiences. And I can imagine that's going to keep happening because what you're doing is very inclusive. So you're gonna meet more people who are doing different types of things and you'll collab with them and therefore you'll meet more people because say for instance you do different sets of workshops, then those workshops are going to attract different types of people, and then those people are going to join faith, and then you're going to meet more people. So it's just a wonderful setup basically. It's a very
Yes.
wonderful setup. I'm just curious how you manage all of it. Like how do you manage working a full-time job and then also doing something like this? Yeah. Because you see, you mentioned burnout earlier, and I'm very familiar with burnout. I've burnt myself out a few times, and I'm still learning to be less active sometimes because I like to be very active. I'm a very active person, and sometimes that's my strength, but also it works against me when I'm overly active. So anyway, so how do you manage all of it?
Yes. So I would say that I have a timetable. I am someone who is very structured in everything. So I
Yes, I
have,
also have my ones right next to me. I have a big whiteboard and I write everything down. Yes.
yes, so everything I write down and I follow my timetable, and I set it according to my priorities also. So since
Mm,
faith is one of the greatest priority of my life, I
mm,
have to give every day to it. So
mm,
every day around 30 minutes, sometimes it can go to 1 hour. This is my
mm,
priority. I have to set aside for faith. But then I also set aside some time apart, like I call it time to do just anything. It's like my slack time.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think, yeah, you can put that also in your list. So like,
Thanks.
yeah, I
I
don't do
will, yes.
anything. Yes,
Sure.
I don't do anything in that time, and
Mm,
I just sit around, and I like to draw. Not draw. I like to color.
mm,
So I would say that, sometimes there are so many things on my to-do list, and I just don't know what to start with. So you know what I do? I just take out all my crayons and I start to color. And it is like a therapy, I would say, because when I feel the colors, when I add the colors, automatically everything in my head like calms down, like
calm
comes
down.
into
Yeah.
order. Yes, so I would say that it's not easy, frankly, to be doing all the things that I do. But what can I say? I am equally passionate in everything, and I need those things for me to in my everyday day-to-day life. I need those things, and they make me happy. So then I devote sometimes to some time to each of it. So even my book, when I started writing it, I devoted like only 30 minutes a day. But I have to be disciplined, and we have to, be proactive sometimes to be disciplined
Mm,
to write, because I have decided to do something, and if I won't do it, then it won't be done by itself. So
mm.
every day I sat down and I wrote for 30 minutes. And then when the 30 minutes are over, I don't come back again. So this
Yeah.
is something that I have learned also. Uh, I practice that. I'm like, self-control is very important, no matter how much more time I want to devote into that thing. But I won't be able to devote much more than the dedicated time because I have other things to focus as well.
Mm,
And my work also is my priority. I work every day from uh, 8 to 5. It's a corporate job. So that's why you see me doing all those things on the side, because those things give me the fuel to
mm,
be able to do my job. So that's why I dedicate my time, my weekends to do the things that truly ignite me. I would say that people say you should only follow your dreams and, make that, but it can be two separate things as well. As I said before, I am not very, very passionate about my job. I'm mostly neutral about it, but
mm,
at the end of the day, it brings food on my table. So I have to
mm,
respect that as
mm.
so. On the side, then I do everything else that makes me happy. So then I can balance it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I resonate with what you're saying because I also do a lot. I work a full-time job, although it's online and I get to work at home, which is a plus benefit. I love my
I
job.
know.
It's really
It's
it's really fun as well. I have a fun job. And I also do a lot of things on the side. So I do a lot of social media outreach and I try to do as many workshops as I can where I come from in my home country in South Africa, I was trying to do regular workshops wherever I could. I was in collaboration with a really lovely lady called Kelly from Odemolen Gardens in Cape Town. And she had this beautiful permaculture style setup garden. And I had previously gone there when I was younger, but I wasn't in the same frame of mind as when I went back recently. And when I went back recently, this idea clicked in my mind. We need to do something in this garden. And she said, yes, let's do it because she's just a wonderfully open lady and she's always collaborating with people. And we had the best bonfire, sacred sound meditation, food gathering. Like it was super cool. At some point, everybody was dancing around the fire and it was just so much fun. I'll tell you, I went away because I was managing the whole thing. And I went away from the event for like 30 minutes to go fetch the food. And then when I left the event, everyone was sitting down and it was peaceful and they were doing sacred sound meditation like we did in the event with you guys. But I asked someone else to do it. And when I came back, I was just thinking while I was away, I was like, oh my word, I hope it people don't get bored sitting there, and I hope that, something happens. When I came back, everybody was dancing around the fire and having so much fun. And I put everything down and I jumped in with everybody and I was just like, yeah, and it was so much fun. I was so surprised by how it turned out. I didn't expect it. It was beyond my wildest dreams. That just that moment where I mean, I wish I could show you, but I can't. Anyway, so it was just a moment of leaving and everybody was just calm, and then coming back and everybody was just like, yeah. It was really, really awesome. And yeah, so I resonate with what you're saying in the sense of that doing these types of things, although it can be quite intense, like to split yourself into so many areas and to manage all of it and to make sure and be disciplined enough to get things done. But the sense of fulfillment and that sense of happiness that comes with that, like I'll never trade some of the moments I've had for anything in the world. Like no, none of this or none of that will ever be able to take those moments and replace it with anything because it was so awesome, so naturally awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I would love to be there, that moment where people are dancing around the bonfire.
Sure.
But
We'll see what happens. I'm the type of person that likes to do things. So I'll get an idea and I'll do things. Like for instance, when your dad gave you that idea of starting something, like those moments are moments of gold for me. I love those moments where you realize that this is something that I could really do. Yeah, I'm an ideas guy. I love acting on my ideas. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
yes,
So I shared a bit a moment there from something that I've done. So I would like you to, if you have a moment that's really moved you in one of the workshops that you've done before, can you share that something that has stuck with you and moved you? Yeah.
actually, this is a very hard one because in every event, in every places that we go, there is something that happens, and when we return home, I literally feel this, and I would say that all of our members who go there, they feel this. It's like a glowing light, a glowing warmth we feel in our chest. It's that feeling of fulfillment, of something extraordinary. It's hard to explain. One thing that I'm remembering right now is that we went to visit a men's shelter last year. So in that men's shelter, there are people from 30 years old to maybe people who are retired to 80 years old. So one of our member there met his own grandfather there, and he was not aware of that. And
Hmm.
that moment, when he met his grandfather and he did not even know that he was there, it was an extraordinary moment, not only for him, but for all of us, because the grandfather was yearning to meet his grandson, and he had not
Hmm.
gotten the opportunity to do that. And and then he was able to meet him, and he was not quite well at this time also. But on that day, he was very happy. He went up, he started dancing. So that made us realize, and it made me realize that maybe the things that we are doing, it can bring people together in some ways that we cannot imagine. And it can also create different types of bonds as well. So that is a moment I would say that I still remember that. And it was a very deep moment.
I can imagine that it's like it's one thing to do something for yourself and to make yourself feel happy. But to help someone else experience a sense of like happiness or calm or have a realization about themselves, like that goes beyond the realization that you have for yourself because now you've helped someone else to go deeper or experience something that is like it's more. It's like there's a saying, happiness is better when it's shared. you know?
Mm.
So to help someone else experience a sense of happiness and that sense of peace or that inner realization about something that goes even deeper than just having it yourself, you know?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's true.
And so I imagine that with all the like the positivity and the things that come with like having these really awesome moments, there must also be some challenges that go along with managing the NGO and having such a wide range of offerings and so on and so forth. So, what are some challenges that you faced so far? I mean, I imagine it couldn't have been easy just to be like, when your dad said you should start something, you're like, yes, sure, next day, boom, it's done, you know? So, yeah, if you could just tell us maybe one big challenge or maybe a few challenges that you've experienced through the process of doing what you do.
Yes. So it comes with different types of challenges, but I would say the biggest one when you're running an NGO is consistency.
Hmm.
So, for example, I would say that our team members and our volunteers, they are very passionate about these things. They are very, very passionate. Yeah, they are very enthusiastic about it. But some of them are college students, some of them are young adults, and some of them are working, have just started working now. So, with all these different responsibilities, sometimes it is very difficult to maintain consistency for them.
Hmm.
So, so that has been a big challenge because what I've realized in this field is that yes, people are very passionate. They want to do this, they want to do that, they want to help, and it's very good. But you also have to be disciplined and you also have to be consistent with what you're doing. That is a very important part. But how we've tackled that part is that we sit down and we come back to the root of why we have started to do that. So coming back to
Hmm.
the root every time, the why behind it, why are we doing those things? They really ground us. So that's why from time to time it is important to remind ourselves because sometimes you can see that yes, we are doing many things, we are doing many things at once, but we have to realize our core values and what we are doing. And that's why sometimes you will see that we assign our tasks very intentionally now. So we give people the amount of tasks that they can manage, that they will be able to manage because even I work, the people um also managing the club, the different department and all, they all work as well and they also have different responsibilities. And so now sometimes we have to slow things down a bit because we have to focus on the quality. We just cannot
Hmm.
just deliver. We have to
Hmm.
sit back. We have to reevaluate, reassess. So there is something that I put a lot of emphasis on now is that I tell them frankly, um, you should do this if you feel like doing something, because if it's becoming a burden, then you should reconsider and take a seat back. And then when you're okay mentally, then when you're able to give, and then you can come back. So sometimes it happens that some people they are going through some tough times because life is unpredictable. So at
Yeah.
those moments, we give them the space. It's not like a job you have to come and you have to do it. It's a voluntary job. But even with doing voluntary job, even being in the field of social work, you still have to be very disciplined. You still have to have the consistency, the determination, because you can be all passionate that you want. Yes, you can want to do this and that, but if you do not know how to channel that energy into making it an action, then it won't work. So
Mm.
yes, so I would say that the biggest challenge that I've got until now is consistency.
Mm. I relate to that because being an ideas person and trying, I'm very experimental and creative. I've noticed in the over the course of me being more proactive and doing things is that it's easy to start something. It's super easy to start something, but maintaining it is the hard part. So with all these ideas, I can throw new things out there often, often. I'll have a new idea. Yes. And that energy is there because it's so nice to feel like a new idea. Let's start something. But the trick is exactly what you said. It's the maintenance, it's the consistency. Can I start it and can I keep it going? Because that's
Mhm,
what's going to build trust in others, trust in yourself, and reliability. And that's what's going to make the impact. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, especially when other people are depending on you. If you're not consistent, then the other people, they're going to see that and then they're just going to become disinterested. They're like, okay, I'm not going to go anymore because it's on one moment, it's off the next moment, and you lose the connection with the people around you.
mhm,
Yeah, it's not that you have to, it's like you can't make everybody happy. It's not about making people happy in that sense. But to really create an impact, there needs to be a level of consistency, like a humanly possible level of consistency, not some superhuman godly level that's that no one can live up to because that's not realistic. But like there's a human level of consistency that is required. Yes. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. So, um, you wear the hat of an NGO founder and an author. So, we chatted a bit about each of them separately. How do they feed each other? So, I imagine that obviously you said well, potentially in the future, gonna write another book, when you're 50 or 60, and that'll be that period of time in that book, between now and then. So how do you think that what you're doing with the NGO feeds your more creative writing side?
Mhm. Yes, to be honest, I am still discovering this answer as I am a newly become author.
When did you
But
write
I
your
would,
book, by the way, if I may ask?
yes, so I started writing it in February and then I finished it in April.
This year.
Yes, this year.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
cool. I thought you wrote it the last year or the year before. Okay, that's really cool. Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Continue.
So
Yes.
the day I got the idea to write a book, I started the same day.
Yeah.
And then from
Wow,
February
okay.
to June, I dedicated around 45 minutes every day on that
Hmm.
consistently. So then I
Hmm.
was able to write the book. Yes. So as I was telling you, I am a new author, and but I think the baseline comes the baseline, to having an NGO, to being a founder, to writing this book. At the end of the day, it's just that I want to connect to people. I want to share the things that I can if I can help someone. It is humility. It is the thing that, that means something to me and being able to share it out. So that's important to me. So being an author, being a writer, I've always loved writing my emotions down, penned out my feelings. Since I was a teenager, I have a personal diary that I write every single night. So, so this really helps me to regulate my nervous system, to jot down feelings properly, and to pull myself. So I like writing, and for the NGO, I would say that it I'm able to take my in my the it's like the book, the writing. It I work it it's like my inner feelings. I work through my inner feelings. And then with the NGO, I take that, the things that I have to share, I put it into practice.
Mm.
So it's the way that these two correlates. It's like with this book, I have written a lot of experiences, for example, to being an author, to founding the NGO, how I spent days, how I created that, and maybe when I was in pain, how I tackled those things, and I wrote it down in the book. And I believe that those experiences ought to be shared because one thing I have also observed is that for me personally, I have been watching a lot of podcasts. I read a lot
Mm.
of self development books. And those people which I follow, I don't even know them personally, but through their stories, through the things that they have shared, they have really shaped my character and they have really helped me. So then, if my story, if something that I do may inspire someone or at least make them feel a bit less lonely in this world, so then I would think that then my job here is for me it's the most meaningful thing. So I would say that both of them correlates because at the end of the day it all comes down to what I want to bring to the world. And also I have to I have to work on myself first. So through the book, through writing, I work on myself. I try to find the time for myself, and then when I am okay, so then through the NGO I am able to help more people. Yes.
Okay. So they do help each other. They do flow into each other and they support each other, which is important.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
when choosing people to work with or to collab with, if you're not supporting each other, then it's sort of just a one-way street sometimes, and it's not very helpful. So you know that if you choose a habit, it needs to support your other healthy habits. If it doesn't work, then you need to change it, or choose a better habit. Yeah. Because if you're ending up burning out, if you're ending up, if it's taking you further away from what you're already doing, then you need to say, hey, no, this is important. This is a priority. That's not important because it's taking me away from doing this. Unless
Mhm.
the thing that you're doing needs like a fresh perspective and you need to change and do something different, um, you know, then something can help you in that sense. But if you're really into what you're doing and it's working, then to be clear on that and to just say no to the things that aren't beneficial to what you're doing is very helpful. And the people, I cannot stress that enough. The people, if you need to choose good people to work with, yes. Healthy people, yes. Very important. Yes, great. So, if you could collab with anybody, a person, a group, an artist, a healer, an organization, who would it be? Even if it's someone from the past. If let's make this a little bit fun and less a little more creative. If you could choose anybody, even if it's someone from the past that inspires you, who would you choose to have a session with or a workshop with?
Wow. Um, for me personally, there are many great organizations out there. There are so many people doing wonderful job already. My personal favorite is Jay Shetty.
Ah, okay. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have started watching his videos when I was maybe 16 years old. He used to make these short motivational videos. I really liked them. But then during COVID, he started a podcast. His podcast
Hmm.
is called On Purpose.
Hmm.
And I have literally watched all the episodes there. Every day it is in my list to watch 30 minutes of that podcast. And I would say that it is due to his book itself, it has a very big contribution on me, on my NGO. So I get that from him, even though I haven't met him. That's why I tell people that maybe your mentor can be someone you haven't met. For me, it's him.
Mm,
And I would like one day to meet him. And if we can do something together, maybe a platform, a global platform where people can come together, or a retreat where people can find some connection there. I would really love that. It's one of my dream, but it's a big contribution to him as well. And there are some people that maybe you will see that you connect with. Maybe some people won't like him the way that I do. They connect with some people more. But for me, um, he's someone whom I feel very connected to, and he has helped me through his podcasts, his videos, his motivational videos, and his book. He has written 2 books now, and I would like uh, to maybe one day do a collaboration with him. But I would also like to add one thing is that sometimes people who can inspire us, maybe they are the everyday to day people that we meet. Sometimes
mm.
it is the simple conversation that can spark something in you or make you realize something. So, in that part, also, I am very open because you don't know where life will bring you. Perhaps a conversation, meeting somebody, it's very simple itself. Because sometimes it's not about what the big people can do. It can be just you've seen something and it resonated with you, or maybe you just saw someone and you think that maybe you can work together to create something. So I also leave that door open.
Yes, I like that because that's definitely a motivator behind why I do what I do. So I'm very open to collabing with the right people, and I'm super open to meeting people. I mean, one of the things that I like to do, which I haven't done in I think about a month or so, is that I go out and I interview people. So I go out in the streets and I ask one question. And I will go to anybody that I can meet and I'll just say, hey, want to be on a YouTube video? Or I'll say a comment or I'll say a compliment and I'll start a conversation with them. Even today, I was walking with my wife and and I heard someone talking, or they were walking in front of us, and I heard the one lady had a South African accent. So I was like, "Hey, they're from South Africa." And my wife just nudged me. She's like, "Go speak to them." And I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll go say hello." So I went and said hello, and we just had a short little conversation with these two ladies. One is originally from Mauritius, but the other one was originally from Cape Town. And the Mauritian lady went to Cape Town for some years, or to South Africa for some years, and they met each other there. And then they both came back here. So they've been here for like over 20 years. The one was 16 years, the other one was 20 years. And it was just nice to just meet and just talk with someone random, you know? And she told us how that the person, her friend, that the one lady who the originally the Mauritian lady, she already had connections here. So when she moved over from South Africa, this lady was like her lifeline because the lady would hold dinner parties and she would, have friends over and she would just keep inviting this lady and it gave her people to talk to and people to connect to because like myself, I'm in a different country and Mauritius, the culture is different from South Africa. Um, yeah, it's very different. And so it's a period of adjustment for me and it's everything is new and there's some things which I'm just like this isn't who I am. In all honesty, I'll never be like this because I'm not Mauritian, you know? I'm my culture, who I am at my core is not like that. But that's okay. It doesn't mean I don't respect it. It doesn't mean that I can't honor it and respect it, but it doesn't mean I have to buy into it. I can be me in a different country and I can change and adapt where I need to, but I don't have to be become like everybody else in that sense. Because to me, authenticity and I really value my own authenticity. I really value who I am as a person, and I would not trade that for anything. And anyway, so it was just really nice to hear that story. That just one person, just that one person in her life helped her to adjust to something really big, like moving to a new country.
Mhm.
And coming back to what you're saying, it's just having one little conversation with someone that you never met before, or someone that you have met before, and you just have this moment of it's almost like God is speaking through the person, or God is speaking through you. And like your dad did to you, hey, Sakshi, why don't you just start your own NGO? You know? Or hey, this or that. And it's those moments that are really like they don't happen often. It's not everybody I speak to that I have a really connected conversation with, but it does happen. And it only happens when I put myself out there for it to happen.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time by myself. I work at from home and stuff like that, so I do tend to spend a lot of time by myself. But I love those moments when I do get out there and I do connect with people, and it really inspires me to keep going because there's so much happening outside of our own perception and our own mind and our own emotional field. And meeting with people sort of opens you up to that. That, oh my word, I never thought about it like that. Or I remembered, or someone says something that triggers a memory of something, and you're like, oh my word, I forgot about that. Wow. You know, it's really amazing. I really love doing it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because I imagine that that's that's also what happens through the NGO is that
Mhm.
the meeting with people and the conversations that you have and the taking inspiration. It doesn't have to come from someone big. It can happen through anybody, really. And because I mean, God is in within everybody, at least in the philosophy that I practice. Um, God is sitting in the heart of everybody. So God can use anybody to inspire you. Literally
Yes.
anybody at any moment, at any time. We just have to be open for it at the end of the day.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so that leads me to another question, which I didn't prepare you for, but it's a question I'm thinking of now, is that how does your relationship with the divine or with God play into what you're doing?
Yes. I would say that for me, everything that I do and which gives me my faith, everything that I do from my heart, I think that it's all connected to the higher power. I am
Mm.
someone who who leaves everything in God's hand. When I want to do something, I ask God for a sign to do something, and sometimes I think that God is my best friend.
Yeah.
And yeah, so since my childhood, I've had that bond with God. It's like I feel that we are best friends, and everything that I do, um, I pray, I ask for him. I ask him if what I am doing, please guide me towards my path. And I don't know how to express this in words, but it's just a feeling that I have that God has, sent me here on earth to do some things. Maybe through God, I can help someone. I can be the medium. Maybe someone can feel inspired, or what I can do in my power to help someone, I do. And I've always have this faith in God. So I always know that even if something is not going well in my favor, something wrong is happening, at the back of my mind, I know that God is preparing me for something better. So I always have this mindset that if something either goes your way, or if it is not going your way, then something better is coming because there are no other options. And like I told you with my NGO, when I got the idea and the way I felt, I can truly say that it was God sent. And even when I had to write my book, uh, it's just a feeling that I get. And I know that no matter where I am, no matter what I'm going through in my life, God is with me. So I get that strength. I get that strength, that faith. The name itself, the name Faith, it was not planned or something like that. I had just picked out some names from the internet, and I was telling my friends which name do we put. Then my best friend Elodie again, so she really liked this name. She and I, we are both believers. We really believe in God. So she said that let's put that name. And I would say that the name itself, the name Faith, has played a big role in our life. And for everything, I am very grateful to God because even to start an NGO or doing whatever I am doing today, it's not possible with me alone. I would say I had the support of my parents, of my friends as well, and it's all due to God. And also, God gave me the courage. And there is something I firmly believe is that if you do the first step, then God will do the rest for you. But you have to at least do the first step. God help those who help themselves. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I agree. Okay, so thank you very much. If there's for anyone who's listening, who's passionate about creativity and community and stuff like that, what is something that you would say to them? Um, just something meaningful, or if they're maybe perhaps wanting to start something like an NGO, or like, so my whole thing is we should all dream big, but everybody's big is different. So, like, my big may be writing a book. That's big for me. Your big may be starting an NGO. That's big for you. Someone else's big may be joining a club or something like that. That's big for them, like a social club or whatever this or that, or going to a temple and joining a spiritual community. So, yeah, what is something that you would say to someone um, who wants to start something meaningful of their own or something like that? Yeah.
Yes. For them, I would say is to just start. You just have to start. If you're going to wait for the right time to come, it is never going to come. Because if I had waited, maybe when the time is right, I will do that. When I have the resources, when I have gained much knowledge on that topic, then I would do that. It never comes the right moment. For me personally, I believe that. And you just have to start, you just have to make the thing exist, and then you can perfect it later.
Mm,
So, for example, I just knew that I wanted to write a book. I know nothing about writing a book. I'm not an author. I'm not even from that background. I don't know how to make a cover of a book, how to publish, how to upload a manuscript. I know nothing. I just knew that I wanted to write a book, and it was something that sit right in my soul that I wanted to do. So what I did is that I just sat down and I started writing the content. I did not think about anything else. And then when the content was over, I finished writing the content. Then I focused little by little on how to do the formatting. I learned how to do that. I learned how to make the cover of a book. So the point is that the things you will learn along the way. You even with the NGO, I don't have a background in that field. I don't have a degree in social work. I don't know anything about how an NGO operates, but I just knew that this was something that I wanted to do and it is something meaningful to me. So then I learned different parts of it. I learned along the way. It was not easy, but you learn, and I'm still figuring a lot of things out. But the bottom line is that if something sits right with you, you just have to start. And I would also say that um, you should just start and don't think about what people would say. If I would have told many people, yes, I want to write a book or I want to do this or that, perhaps I would have get discouraged because people would say to me, but are you sure you want to do that? Do you have the background to do that? And imagine if I would have listened to those people. So I would have done nothing. So I would say that what I did was when I had the idea and I knew that it was something right for me, I just started doing it. And later, even with the book, I did not tell. I just told my father that I'm writing a book. But then when the book was ready, then I told, you know what, I've written a book. And people could not believe that as well. But I would say that don't listen to people, what they have to say. Just do uh, what sits right within you. Because at the end of the day, the what you have come here to do, it's very meaningful. And if you think that uh, maybe you can help someone, or maybe you just want to do something for you, I would say just begin. Just put yourself out there. It is not easy, it is difficult, but that's the path. You have to put yourself out there. And many people also, you see the many people out there, even yourself, Devon. I must imagine if you hadn't put yourself out there, if you hadn't had the bravery to start something, then we wouldn't be talking here right now.
And
Yeah.
because I mean, you also know, but because we put ourselves out there, it's just
Mhm.
made me connect to more people and more ideas
Mhm.
and more inspiring and hearing more inspiring stories. And you're right, it's not easy. It definitely is not easy. I thought, just put yourself out there. It's fine. It's easy. It's easy to do, but then to keep it going and to keep putting yourself out and then keep testing your limits and keep pushing those boundaries, that's not easy. It requires another level of like surrender in a sense to keep doing that. But the reward is very beneficial and it is very rewarding. I don't know who I would be if I just never did it.
Mhm.
If I just never put myself out there, I never decided to start anything in my life. I never decided to act on my inspiration, and I never decided to act on the desires in my mind and my heart. I can't picture myself being that person. I don't know who I would be.
Mhm.
I don't want to be that person. I want to be this person. I want to be the person because through the process of doing all of this, how much I've grown and how much more me I've become because I've
Mhm.
tested myself so many times and I'm never going to stop doing it. I'm never going to stop testing myself. But I've just from then till now, I've tested myself so many times and I pushed myself so many times to see who I am and to see what's really in me. And it's given me a level of belief in myself. It's given me a level of confidence. It's given me a level of like love for myself that I never knew I had, which is partly
Mhm.
the reason why I started to do everything, is because I realized I wanted to learn to love myself and I didn't know how. And one of the things that I learned through the process is that I have to not give myself something to love, but if I want to respect myself, I have to give myself something to respect. So I have to do
Mhm.
things that are respectful, and then I can have more respect for myself. Because I mean, I should respect myself regardless, but still, I should also hold a level and maintain a level of action that is respectful in order for that respect to be maintained, if that makes sense. I can't be cheating and lying to people and then somehow still respect myself because those are not respectful activities, type of thing. So anyway, so that's a part of, I guess, the benefit that I've gained from putting myself out there and acting on the inspiration that I've received is that it's helped me to personally grow. And through my personal growth, I've also seen how much it's helped others to grow in small
Mhm.
ways. I'm not saying I've made a large impact at all anywhere in the world. Maybe, maybe somewhere someone has felt inspired a little bit, but at least one person has felt inspired, at least one person. That's great. That's super awesome. That means what I'm doing has worked in some way or not, you know. And that to me is meaningful. It's really great because life is short, and I don't believe that we should just live a life that's unpurposeful, that has no meaning. Because I just I wouldn't know. I would slowly die inside if I lived a life like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, so through doing this, it's really connected me deeper into myself and into my purpose and into the relationship I've had with myself. And not only that, but also the relationship I've had with God, with Krishna at the end of the day. It strengthened my relationship so much, and it continues to do so every single time. Um, because as you said, it's like it's not that we do this thing on our own strength. There's so many things I've done where I realized, I don't know how I did that. I don't think it was even possible for me to do that on my own strength. It was only possible through lots of surrender and lots of praying and just like, please help me, God. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but please help me, you know? Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So this moment comes, even some days I don't where things are going wrong, I just go and I pray to God and I cry and I just tell him everything. And
Mm.
it is very therapeutic and yeah, so surrendering also because sometimes what we want for ourselves, God has a much bigger plan. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's letting go of that, what I think is right, and thinking, shifting back and saying, okay, maybe there's something that's better for me, and learning to be like, okay, phew, let's see what it is. But you have to let go of it. It's like if you have a room that's full of stuff, it's impossible to let new things in because the room's already full. So if you're
Mm.
already filled with all these ideas of what you think is right and what you think is good and what you think I need to do, then it's hard for God to put something new in there. So we have to be, as much as you have to be driven and passionate about what you're doing, and you have to have an aim and a focus, you still have to be open to the fact that there could be a better idea coming. There could be something that's actually like on a higher frequency than what I'm doing right now. So it's a very interesting space to be in. That level of focus, like I'm doing this, I have to say, or I say no to things that are going to take me away from this, but still remaining in that level of awareness of like, okay, I need to be open still, I have to be focused but open. It's like two very
Mhm.
different things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway. So, I think let's start to close off this podcast. And I wanted to just ask, I know you have a Facebook page, I know you have an Instagram page. Are there other places that people can find you? And just so all the community members know, I'll be posting the links in the description of this video. So your social media links, and is there any way that people can connect to you if they want a copy of your book? And how much is your book going for? Yeah.
Yes. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn. And if you want a copy of my book, then it's available on Amazon internationally. You can
Oh,
type the
nice.
book, yes, or even my name. You will
Hmm.
find the book. I will also give you the link. You can put it down in the description. It's at $12. in Mauritian rupees, it's 600 rupees. But you can also reach out to me via LinkedIn if you want the book, or even through Devon. If someone
Sure.
wants the book, they can reach out to me. And I would also invite all those people watching this podcast, if you want to join our NGO, the work that we do, everything is free, and we always welcome new people, new volunteers. If you want to come to our event, then Devon will share the link to our social media. So we are on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok as well now, and also on LinkedIn. So you will find us there. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
And so just clarifying, it's all under similar names, Faith Club.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
it's Youth Club. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, great. So is there anything else, one last thing you would maybe want to share or before we close off? Yeah, feel free.
Yes, so one last thing I just want to say is that whoever is watching this podcast, at any moment, you should not feel that you are unworthy, because if you are right here on earth at this moment in time, you're here, you're breathing, there must be a reason why you're here. And God has put us on earth, so then we must be worthy, otherwise, we would not be here. And you don't have to figure everything out. Even if you don't know what your purpose is in life, you don't have to be harsh on yourself. When you see maybe other people have already found their purpose, they have something that they like. So don't be harsh on yourself. I'm sure you can find something that you like. Everybody likes something, and perhaps you can just start from there. And nobody has everything figured out. You can see me here, like I've achieved all these things, but there are also some areas in my life where I don't have everything figured out, and I'm
I mean,
still
you're
struggling.
23.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
shouldn't have everything figured out. If you do,
Yes.
well, you should write a book about it.
Yeah, and even others as well. So it's all both. We are both, I believe, we are both a work in progress, and at the same time,
Mm,
we can be a masterpiece as well. We
mm.
don't have to think that we have to achieve this, and then we would be worthy. We are worthy as we are right now.
Yes,
Yes,
cool.
yes, that's what I
Yes,
wanted to share.
and it's nice to share. Happiness is better when it's shared. So
Mm-hmm.
even if ever you can share in any which way you want, anyway, even if you share once a while or you share just a smile with someone or a polite conversation. How many conversations I've started with random people in a shop just because I thought they looked cool. They had a cool jersey, they had a cool hairstyle. I liked their eyes or their smile or they just something about them spoke to me. And I just said to them, "Hey, I like your style." And we had a cool conversation about something or other. It was really nice, and it's cool to share. It really is cool to share. Yeah, it brings a lot of perspective in life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope that this episode was really nice. It was really inspiring for me. As Sakshi said, we're all a work of a masterpiece or a work of art in progress. Myself included. I'm also very much always learning. And I like to think I have everything figured out, but I really don't a lot of the time. But that doesn't stop me from doing things. It doesn't stop me. It doesn't. I feel a lot of the time I feel unworthy, like I don't know what I'm doing, and I still somehow manage to make myself do it. Because a feeling of unworthy doesn't mean you're unworthy. There's a level of like I really need to put in the work to understand what I'm doing, and then there's a level of like you should just also start and you will learn through the process of doing something. So a lot of the time people sit with an idea and they think, I think Sakshi said it earlier, I'm never going to be ready. When will I be ready? Let me keep planning. Let me keep doing this. And I say that sometimes you just need to do it because at the end of the day, you can sit and think about it for your whole life, and you could one day realize when you're 80, oh my word, I need to do this. But by then, all your energy is gone. You're 80 years old, and your body is failing you at that point in your life. So if you have ideas, put them out there, do them now while you're young, while you still have energy, because you won't always have this energy. So use it while you have it. Yeah, because life is it's fleeting and short. And the meaning that we discover in our lives is also due to the effort we put into discovering that meaning. So if you look for it, you will find it at the end of the day. Sometimes it's also that process that really uncovers it. Because I can sit on my couch and I can think, I want to live a meaningful life. I'm going to live a meaningful life. But all I do is sit on my couch. And I never really discover anything because all I'm doing is sitting on my couch. But if I have an idea, I want to live a more meaningful life, and I start doing things, even the smallest thing, it doesn't have to be big things, the smallest thing that's a bit different or that's creative or this or that, just that small thing, that will lead you to the next idea. And if you're open enough while you're doing that small thing, the next idea will come, and then you do the next idea, and then the next idea. And then just through following that, more ideas come, more meaning comes. And that's sort of like why it's there. It's the meaning doesn't just fall in your lap. Sometimes you have to really get up there and be adventurous and be courageous and go get the meaning in life, go after it. And um, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that's, I think, the end of this podcast. Thank you very much, Sakshi, for joining me on this podcast. I'm very humbled to have you here, and I appreciate your story, and I appreciate your messages, and I appreciate what you're doing. I do look forward to collabing in the future. I'm sure this isn't the end, but probably just the beginning. I'm going to be in Mauritius for until I'm not anymore. So, so yeah, so I look forward to collabing, me and my wife. I'm sure we both look forward to collabing with you again. We both really appreciated the space, the choice of the youth center that you allowed us to work in and work with the people was a really great choice. It was a really clean, neat place. I appreciated the effort that you guys put into choosing something like that. And yeah, and also the group of people you have, just how open everybody was, even from different religions, trying things that were maybe not so conventional to their religion. Me and my wife were both really inspired by that because the world needs more open-minded people in today's day and age. And sometimes I'm in a religion, and even I see this in my own religion. Sometimes the religion can close you off to other things, not the religion itself, but the way the person formulates beliefs about the religion through reading and stuff, but not fully understanding the religion and what's being read or written. And anyway, so meeting people who are from different religions who are open to other things and open to expanding their idea of God and their idea of the divine is amazing. And yes, anyway, so we both were really inspired just through the one lady that was there. There was a specific lady, I won't mention who it was, but she was
Yeah,
really awesome. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
So, yes, thank you very much again. I appreciate it. And yes, thank you everyone for watching.